Skull Nation, you feel that strange mix of excitement and unease because something's brewing in Minnesota. And it's not just the storm clouds above TCO Performance Center. You've been watching closely through every training camp snap, every quiet roster move, every hint of a shift on the line. But I promise you this, what's happening behind closed doors is way bigger than what the cameras show. Let me put it like this. The Vikings aren't just prepping for a season. They're constructing a wall, a brutal, unforgiving wall, one trench at a time. Whispers from Egan speak of a throwaway, bold rebuild on both the offensive and defensive lines. Not flashy headlines, no blockbuster names yet, but foundational moves, silent, surgical, and all of it building towards something. Then it happened. A name resurfaced from the shadows, a massive name, a potential titan, one that could flip this line from solid to terrifying. And just when fans were catching their breath, a key piece returned, quietly stepping back into the fold, hungry after a season-ending injury. His presence alone? A game changer. But here's the thing, why now? Why these exact moves? Is this about depth or dominance? And most of all, what does this say about the Vikings' mindset heading into 2025? You see, while other teams showboat in training camp highlights, Minnesota's stacking chess pieces. Every move precise, every addition a signal. They're not here to entertain, they're here to overwhelm. But here's my question to you, Skull Nation. Is this the formula to finally break the curse, or just another off-season smoke show? Let me know down in the comments. Smash that like button if you felt even an ounce of that tension this week, because what I'm about to reveal, it starts small, like a ripple on calm waters. But by the end, we'll be staring at a tidal wave that could reshape the entire NFC North. Let's dive in. Let's cut the noise. While media outlets obsess over quarterback competitions and wide receiver drama, the Minnesota Vikings are playing a whole different game, and you better believe it's a trench war. Over the last week, moves have been made. Not headline-grabbing blockbusters, not trade deadline chaos, but six under-the-radar signings, cuts, and tweaks to the roster that paint a crystal clear picture. The front office is all in on your building dominance in the trenches. Call it what you want. Depth building, competition, insurance policies, but the truth is louder than any press conference. The Vikings are shaping both their offensive and defensive lines like sculptors preparing for battle. Forget the flashy skill players for a second. Look at where games are won at the line of scrimmage, and it seems Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah knows exactly where the pressure points are. Moves like locking down versatile rotational linemen, testing raw prospects with high ceilings, and trimming down the roster to make room for bigger, meaner bodies. All of it calculated. This isn't a rebuild, it's an arming process. And fans who've been paying attention saw the signs. A bump in intensity at the line drills. Coaches circling specific matchups. Comments and pressers like, "We're not done yet," or "You win by controlling the line." What does that tell you? That this team is done being pushed around. Think back to last season. Close games, missed blocks, defensive pressure that arrived a tick too late. Those weren't talent issues. They were trench issues. But this year, the quiet fix is underway. And the scariest part? We're not even at the big names yet. Because what's coming next isn't just about depth. It's about power. Raw, relentless power that can flip a 3rd and 2, collapse a pocket, or seal off a fourth quarter win. But no one expected what came after. Because just when we thought these silent roster tweaks were the headline, a familiar name returned. One fans feared wouldn't be ready. And his presence? Oh, it changes everything. Then it happened. He stepped back onto the field, calm, focused, and moving like he never left. Christian Darasaw was back. And just like that, the entire tone of training camp shifted. You could feel it. Coaches whispering, teammates nodding, the crowd leaning forward just a little more. This wasn't just any return. This was the anchor, the left tackle, the protector, the wall. After that knee injury, last season, no one knew exactly when or even if he'd be back at full strength. The rehab updates were cautious, the timelines unclear. But now he's out there, participating in drills, exploding off the line, holding his own in one-on-ones. And you know what the scariest part is? He doesn't look 80% ready. He looks 100% locked in. It's not just his physical presence, though, let's be real. 6'5", 315 pounds of aggression is hard to miss. It's his footwork, his balance, his leadership. He's not just another body on the line. He's the tone setter, the blindside guardian, the guy who turns a shaky pocket into a clean launch pad. And you know who noticed? Brian Flores, Kevin O'Connell, JJ McCarthy. They all felt it, the comfort, the confidence, the calm that comes when Darasaw is back in his stance. Now ask yourself this. What happens when you take a line already being quietly upgraded and then drop a fully healthy Darasaw into the middle of it? That's not depth anymore, that's domination. But here's the catch. If Darasaw is back and healthy, do you double down and ride the guys you've got? Or, do you go nuclear? Because just when fans thought this line couldn't get stronger, a rumor hit the wire, a big one. A name started floating, a potential wrecking ball still sitting out there. And the Vikings? Well, they're listening. You heard the name. And yeah, your heart probably skipped a beat. Because the moment Brian Flores was asked about him, he didn't dodge. He didn't laugh it off. He leaned in and said the words that every Vikings fan should be paying attention to. I don't mind adding more. He was talking about Christian Wilkins, the 6'4", 310-pound monster who wrecked pockets in Miami. The same Wilkins who brought that fire and swagger every snap. A leader, a disruptor, a tone changer. And now, he's available, he's lurking, and the Vikings are interested. Let that sink in. You've already got a line getting rebuilt from the inside out. You've got Darasaw returning on offense, quiet depth moves solidifying both fronts, and now a proven aggressive defensive tackle who's hungry for redemption after a messy Raiders exit. That's not a rumor, that's a blueprint. Because what Wilkins brings isn't just size and sacks, it's attitude, it's violence at the line. The kind of guy who blows up double teams and flexes while your quarterback hits the turf. And if you think Flores, who's seen him up close in Miami, doesn't want that back in his arsenal, you're kidding yourself. Now here's where it gets real. The word is, if Wilkins agrees to a veteran minimum deal, Minnesota could pull the trigger fast. No waiting, no games, one signature away from transforming this front into something truly terrifying. So I ask you, Skull Nation, what happens when you add Christian Wilkins to a unit already fueled by young legs, Darasaw's return, and Flores' system? Is this the year we start playing nice? Or do we let another dominant name walk somewhere else? Again, drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like if you want to see Wilkins in purple. And here's your final shot of adrenaline. Wilkins is still unsigned, but sources say a decision is coming within days. Will Minnesota make the call? And if they do, who's the next big name to fall in line? Hit subscribe, because next week's camp update might feature a new beast in the trenches. And trust me, you don't want to miss that.